So I just got off work and on the way home to start our Christmas vacation. And I stopped by the store, continued on the way home and listening to the radio, some gospel music, and a thought came to my mind. Jeff, you need to go to the graveyard on Christmas. I thought that was a little strange. Am I hearing from God or not? I went home to talk to Ann and told her what I thought God may be saying to me, that we need to go to a graveyard on Christmas Day. And she reacted to that a little oddly. Why don't you tell them about that?
Well, I noticed you had tears in your eyes. So just, having been married at that time for, I guess, 10 or 12 years, I knew him well enough to know that that was the Holy Spirit speaking to him. And it was so odd, coming home and saying, Ann, and he used that term graveyard. I think we're supposed to go to a graveyard on Christmas Day. And, I immediately picked up on it and thought to myself, I don't know if I verbalized it, but I thought to myself, we need to go,
And so the days went by, the time went by, and I started thinking, did I really hear from God? Doubt set in. It is an odd request, so I started doubting things, and was sitting around Christmas Day, again, having real questions in my mind, have I really heard from God? So I kind of put it on the back burner, and finally, I said, you know what? The only way to know is to go. And so I put on my shoes and was walking out the door, and she noticed and she said, where are you going?
I had been watching him all morning, waiting for him to be obedient. And, I don't know if I had asked you yet that morning, but I was definitely watching him. So when I saw him putting on shoes or something, I said, well, what are you doing? And he said, going to the graveyard. So I said, hold on, I'm coming with you. So I rushed to get my shoes and jacket, and we hadn't talked about where we were going exactly or anything, but we got in the car and started, we got on the road.
We didn't even know which graveyard to go to. We just knew a graveyard. When we first get there was a bunch of cars. We got out of the car, again, a little bewildered on what we were supposed to do. So we got out and started walking around, noticed people were kind of looking for graves and their loved ones. So we kind of helped them look for names. People were from out of town visiting on Christmas, but I thought, that can't be it. So she had a friend that her son had passed away. So we went over, maybe that's it. We went over and visited his grave and prayed and reflected on life and death and different things. And so we were there for a short time, about 20 minutes maybe, and decided, it's time to pack it up.
So we started, just heading back toward our car. And what's really interesting is that when we first got there, we were very surprised when we first got there how many people were there. There was, 10, 12 cars there, and people just scattered all over, on Christmas Day, visiting their loved ones. And so, as we started, down the drive, heading back to our car, there was no one. It was completely emptied out. There was, as far as we could see, there was one car left, and it was our car. And so, as we were walking back, I think we were disappointed, you know.
Me especially, because now I'm thinking, as a man leading the family, is she ever going to believe me again if I say I heard from God? So there was some real disappointment.
Yeah.
And so we thought the day was over.